So welcome to No Stupid Questions.
Hello, everybody.
This week, welcome.
It's for real.
With TLeake
like,
and
rah,
JAG.
rah, like a dungeon drag. What's up?
No specific order.
I love it.
No Stupid Questions show.
Can we curse on the show?
Do whatever we
It's for
feel.
real.
Tanya,
Okay.
your question for today
No.
is
All right.
stupid.
So,
Question.
What's the name of the show, Jay?
No
Jack.
Stupid Questions.
I'm sorry.
Welcome to this episode
My
of
first question is, who are you?
No Stupid Questions.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the No Stupid Questions show, the show where you have two smart people and one stupid question.
And sometimes
So we
silly.
thought. That's TLeake, my co-host.
Yo.
Gonna be one of those shows tonight. It must be a lighthearted show because I already see it's going that way.
We laugh to keep from crying.
Okay. Well, TLeake, do you have a question for us today?
That is a historical fact. We laugh to keep from crying. Yes, I do have a stupid question for you.
Okay.
Is being young and gifted enough for a Black person to be appointed to the U.S. Supreme Court? Let me repeat that. Sounds and looks like you're married.
Well, I'm trying to be optimistic.
Is being young and gifted enough for a Black person to be successfully appointed to the Supreme Court of the United States of America?
I'm gonna have to take no for $100.
I don't think no gets you any money. That's not the long shot.
Oh, it's not?
Yeah. That's not your snowball's
Well,
chance.
then I'm gonna take yes for $1,000.
That's okay. That's what I'm talking about.
Might as well roll the dice here.
Hey, put out as much positivity as possible.
There we go.
So, but let's just for kicks. So what's up with your no? Where does that come from? As if I don't know.
Well, I mean, part of the issue is what is ever enough for a Black person? What is ever enough? Because being young and gifted may make you more of a threat. And therefore, you may be faced with more opposition as a Black person than otherwise. So I don't know if it's enough. That's why I said no.
Okay.
What say ye?
And then your $1,000 answer.
I do believe I'm gonna put some positive air out there. I do believe that we are about to have a relatively young, gifted Black person nominated to the Supreme Court.
Oh,
I think that's about to happen.
well, nominated. She's been nominated.
Well, you're right. Successfully. You said successfully nominated?
Appointed.
Successfully appointed. Yes. I do believe we will have a young, gifted Black woman successfully appointed
Really?
to the Supreme Court.
Now, help me with this. Is this a simple majority thing?
It is now that is a good question.
Because
What I do know is the Democrats have the votes to do it themselves. So I think
it must be a simple majority. Yes, because they're tight. Okay. Yeah, they lulled me in that first day of hearings because I didn't watch it, but I didn't hear anything come out of it. It was just sounded like it was kumbaya. It was, lots of people just talking about congratulating her on the nomination. What an honor. And yeah, a part of me didn't want to watch it.
Okay.
Because I was fearful and honestly couldn't take the stress on my heart.
So you realize it was similar to a court argument in which the first day was really just opening statements.
Yes.
nobody was really trying to be hardcore on the issues on the first day. Maybe you wouldn't expect the opposition to tip their hand too much on that first day. So everything would be nice and kind.
Yeah, I want to put out that positive energy. So I might just not say as much this evening. Because I did watch today. I watched Cory Booker talk, and I watched, I probably want to push him out of my mind, but Lindsey Graham.
Mr. Graham.
I watched him really badger her.
And that's interesting from Lindsey Graham. Really interesting.
What do you mean by that?
He was involved in the process of her getting her federal appellate court position. And he had no opposition then.
So what you saying?
Well,
when was that?
Now you're asking me dates.
Because we've seen a lot of people change over the last 10 years.
Yeah, did he
and
change?
That's not a coincidental. Yeah.
Lindsey Graham changed, in your opinion?
Well, so I think there was, I think we had the parties. I think with Trump, there was a whole new, and even Lindsey Graham had some choice words for Trump prior to his election, when Trump was just a candidate. And so, yeah, I do think that things have changed. It seems like it's almost like a cult, a cult that a lot of people became a part of about 10 years ago. So, yeah, I do think it's changed. There's always been a degree of conservatism. But again, just like you said, he clearly has changed because he supported her for appellate. And I do believe that's part of this change, is that it's kind of like, if it's supported by a Democrat, it's no. It is full stop. It's not okay, but blah, 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 blah. I can work with that. I can, it's not the political courtesy. It's just partisanship. And that's frustrating. And I think that is where he has changed, and where a number on both sides have moved towards. And I think it's really dangerous. And we've talked about that on other shows, so I won't go down that path. Okay. So what were you saying? When was the support he had?
2013 is when she joined the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia.
Look at my timing. Did I say 10 years?
Yeah.
Did I say 10 years?
You might have been a year off.
Did I say 10 years?
I'm not going to hold you to that.
Well, that's when she was appointed. When did the process start? I'm going to give it 10. So, bam.
Okay. Well, without evidence, I'll let you.
Thank you, sir.
Apparently, evidence makes it doesn't matter anyway. So. In this world we call America. So I still have to say, what did I say? I said no. But if I want to be the positive person, I say yes for $1,000. Taking my long shot. It's interesting because obviously Lindsey Graham didn't object as vociferously. Did I pronounce that word right? Mm-hmm. As he has this current time around. And the stakes are different. Maybe he doesn't think being on a U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia it's not as big a deal, but maybe he's of the opinion that you should put less judges on that stage and not object to them when they're at that stage, and you should object to them when they're on Supreme Court. I find that to be a little disingenuous. Clearly, it's political grandstanding, and maybe you're right. Maybe the last 10 years with the previous administration, everyone has hardened their views on a lot of things. But the interesting thing is they seem to be really jumping on her about her criminal record. And criminal records are not what the U.S. Supreme Court is known for. I mean, they don't hear too many criminal cases.
That's an excellent point.
There are constitutional cases that are heard for the most part, not criminal cases. So if he really was concerned about her criminal record, the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia. I'm not trying to say anything about D.C., but you really think he would jump up and down and object then. But to object at the time when she's going for the Supreme Court is really odd. And I say odd, it's not that odd. You just have to understand what people's motives are.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I think, I mean, you know, I'm looking at, you know, the two things that could happen. I mean, it's a 6-3 court right now, right? In terms of sort of leanings, for lack of a better word. So, I mean, it's not a flip.
It won't
right?
flip the court, right?
So having her there, I did think about the black don't crack. I mean, we have a good amount of time. I'm hoping that the Lindsey Grahams of the world, you know, kind of weigh their options and believe that not appointing her or voting against it will have some repercussions. You know, when we think about Black women voters, I mean, let me take a step back, actually. You know, we said young and gifted, and we, you know, kind of jokingly said young, but since we think we're young, we're going to go with that because she was born the same year I was. So
there you go, 1970. I'm sorry. I was speaking for myself. I have no clue when y'all were born. I have absolutely no clue.
Did he just out me? Did he just out me, y'all?
You out yourself, because I just told everybody I was speaking for myself.
Anybody in their right mind? Smart people, or so we thought.
So we thought. I should have known better.
You and your mama at. So I you know, so we said young and gifted. So we've now dealt with the young. The gifted, I mean, like you said, supported pretty much by across the aisle, et cetera, in her previous appointment. And just, I mean, based on the snippets that I have seen, she is, especially compared to, you know, Brett Kavanaugh and his breakdown, she is composed. She sounds as if she is a very, very, very deep thinker. And she falls back on the law. I know that when she was being badgered by Lindsey Graham, what I saw and noticed was that she had a North Star, right? And part of that was the statute. And I loved it because it seemed like it was just a little bit of shade. Because she was like, based on the guidelines given to us by Congress.
There you go.
You've been in there for a long time, mister. She must have said it about 3 times. This is why these are the penalties that we impose, and we adhere to that. And it was done this way, and these guidelines were designed this way because blah, blah, blah. So are you saying that she probably could have gone further in pushing him back on that? But I think she walked a very fine line, right? Very well. And I think that's what, you know, when I think about, so to me, that's the gifted part. You know a lot more about kind of judges' backgrounds, et cetera. So I don't know if you have anything to add on the gifted
I don't know if there's
part.
any more to add about that. But I will say, Wisconsin's Paul Ryan, who was Speaker of the House at one point, he's a retired congressman now. But in 2013, when they were having the confirmation hearings, and he is a Republican, by the way.
I remember him. Didn't he cry?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Okay. He was younger, right? The younger guy? Maybe
I don't know.
Young like Ketanji and me. Keep going.
He was born. Yes, he was born the same year as Ketanji. But my point is, I'm sure it's not going to happen, but I hope they bring Wisconsin's Paul Ryan as a witness. Clearly a top Republican when he retired because he was Speaker of the House, said in that confirmation hearing in 2013, I know she is clearly qualified, but it bears repeating just how qualified she is. Our politics may differ, but my praise for Ketanji's intellect, for her character, for her integrity is unequivocal. Said by the person who would then go on to be the Speaker of the House, Republican Speaker of the House.
Right.
That should be the end of it. I mean, that's where you drop the mic and say, is it time for us to get this vote over with and get it done? Because clearly he thought she was gifted as well as had high integrity. What changed in the last 8 years, 9 years, 2 years?
Here we go again. But he retired. So I actually probably think part of that was an integrity question with the previous administration. So, I mean, I hope that they are able to, and he's, inclined to support that. Anyway, we'll see what happens with that. Let me ask you what you think happens. No, I don't want to put it out there, but what happens if well, first of all, if it takes a simple majority, I don't know. I mean, we got our two rogue elements in the Democratic Senate, which would be I'm about to say Cinema. Oh, actually, that is right. I was in my mind that came out as CINEMA, but it's actually, that is correct. It's just not spelled that way. I was going to say Simina, but it's not that. What's our other buddy's name? Manchin.
Buddy of mine.
Manchin. So I'm gonna assume that she's gonna have certainly the simple majority votes, and there was, I don't know if you saw this, but it's been going around the internet. There was everybody has their monologue, right? Lindsey Graham had his, Cory Booker had one.
My man. Go ahead.
Why? Okay, stop, pause. Why is Cory your man? Let me just hear.
Did you hear his speech?
I did.
At the confirmation hearing?
About Harriet Tubman?
Well, it was more than just Harriet Tubman.
No. I'm just saying that.
Yes, well, he mentioned Harriet Tubman. Yes, absolutely.
And he cried. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I
What did you think about his? I mean, maybe I don't know where you're going with this. What did you think about?
Okay, pause.
Okay.
What did you think about it?
Well, I said my man. I mean, I was actually proud of his comments and his.
All right. Well, you mentioned it wasn't just about Harriet Tubman. So give your summary of what it meant to you and what you appreciated about it.
What I appreciated about it was the element in which he suggested that he has forever seen Black women in particular work. Well, I hate to use the phrase, twice as hard to get half as far. And so this moment with Ketanji Brown Jackson is moving to him because he's finally seeing a woman who is qualified, a Black woman, make no mistake, who is qualified and is getting her due. And that was moving to him.
Yeah, for me, there were elements of that, but a lot of it got lost in what felt very theatrical.
Well, you can't blame a man for being theatrical.
Can't I?
Nah.
Why?
You can't blame him for that.
Why?
I mean,
is this a theatrical moment?
He is who he is. I mean, he's had a theatrical element to him since he played football at Stanford. I mean, he is who he is.
Oh, you're gonna take it way back. Well, I'm gonna give you that he is who he is. He's also been tighter.
What you mean by tighter?
I'm not talking about his age, which is also 1970, I'm pretty sure. But anyway.
69. It might be 69.
I just think he was, and he was emotional, so maybe he really was riffing and going off the cuff. But the thing that gets, or when she was first brought, actually before she was even named, there was this issue that, Republicans were using to say that, how are you going to nominate a Black woman? You should say you're going to nominate the best possible candidate. And it was one of those things that yeah, you can say that, and you can say, and I'm going to focus my search, because there are many qualified Black women candidates. So it wasn't, but again, as we've talked about many times before, give them their due. The Republicans are very good at those talking points, those sound bites, those things that just kind of grab people. And to me, Cory Booker is kind of what he was talking about. It could be soundbited and indicted in that way. And that's where I was just like, my sister, and I was just like, okay. So I appreciate that there were some things that he said that I really liked.
I know you New Yorkers. I know you New Yorkers always have an issue with them boys from Jersey.
Whatever. They ain't got nothing to do with this.
And maybe the cadence of his speech didn't seem sincere to you. But I think he was sincere. I think he was emotional, and I think maybe that affected.
I agree. I do think he was emotional, and so that's where I'm going to give him the pass.
Right, and I mean it's an emotional subject. I mean it's
agreed. He was talking about his mother. He was talking about his sisters.
Right.
So yeah, no doubt. Spoiler alert. But maybe we should be expecting more.
Okay, so
for everybody who doesn't know, I've been talking to Jag about a question that I've had about whether or not we should be expecting more from our elected officials. So,
and we got to get to that question real soon.
That question is coming up.
We say that in our shows, and we have some.
No. I'm on that.
But let me fix something real quick.
Uh-oh.
So I talked about.
Is there something that needs to be fixed?
There's something that needs to be fixed. I talked about Judge Jackson's confirmation hearing for the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia, which was in 2013. But I was remiss in not talking about last year, 2021, her being confirmed to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit.
Yeah, because I thought there was something in between that one.
Yeah,
yes. And who supported her on that?
Well, who voted for her? Drum roll, please. Okay. Senator Susan Collins from Maine. Senator Lisa Murkowski from Alaska. And Senator Lindsey Graham from the great state of South Carolina. Okay. So you voted for it last year, and then you try to grill it this year? I mean, how does America, how does the public?
The public doesn't look at those.
Well, they probably don't know it, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm putting it out there.
Yep.
As hard as Lindsey Graham was on Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, and I hope I'm not mispronouncing her name. How did he vote for her last year? Does that mean he was negligent or irresponsible or what? I don't know. I guess he hopes nobody calls attention to that. But we're going to do that on the No Stupid Questions show.
I mean, let's be honest. He's been called to the carpet for a few things that he's switched up on. He called for that vote for the latest justice, right?
Right.
She was confirmed weeks before the election, and when Barack was it's too close to the election, it's not the will of the people, blah blah blah. So right. He's been hypocritical on a number of things that you can show the videotape, show the voting tally, etc. So that would not be. I don't think they really worry about that, which is crazy because the media's there, right? We have the video, we have the audio, we have all of that, and still they feel like they can just flip flop. So I don't think that their previous support or previously being against something ever comes up. I think it definitely, they tend to be fluid when they want to be fluid. So
right, and it's a good thing it was Judge Jackson up there and not me, for example. Because I would have answered every one of the good senator from South Carolina's questions with, thank you for your vote to confirm me to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia. last year. And to answer your question, I would have answered every one of his questions that way. Because, man, it seems that, we gave him a pass on that one.
Well, I think that it would be good to get it out there, but you couldn't keep answering it because I guarantee he would have used the Supreme Court card, right? The lifetime appointment.
No, it's lifetime appointments at all those levels.
Well, but it's a different level. Let's be honest. It's a different level.
Oh, no doubt it's a different level.
And you say that, and the average person responds to that. Yes, I could support you for VP, but not for president of the organization. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess integrity.
It's not an integrity question, right? Are you right for this role? And as right as you might be for one below it, are you for the highest court in the land? Are you right? Again, you know more than I do in this arena, but when I map it back to corporate, yeah, you could be a VP and I can't support you for president just yet. Possibly.
And
that's a response.
That is two different things to me, because you can say you're not right for the role, but when you say you're not right for the role because of integrity, then you can't say you're right for some other role. Your integrity is good enough for some other role, but it's not good enough for the top role.
Yes, and you're right. You're right about the integrity point, but I think that's why he was trying to. Again, to your point, it's a little waffly, but her criminal stuff, like you said, it's probably more relevant actually to the role she had rather than this role. She's probably better suited to this role if he had issues with her.
First of all, I'm not saying anything's wrong with a criminal record.
Well, no, that's what Lindsey said. It wasn't a integrity question per se that I, from the snippet that I saw.
Yeah, she just followed the rule book.
He was talking specifically about,
why she's sentenced with
child pornography sentencing.
Right.
Yeah, so it was a sentencing criminal thing. So it was very specific. I don't feel like it was an integrity thing. It was a decision thing. So, but I think that you are right. I think that it would have been nice for her to highlight that, she threw, I felt a little shade. I don't know if I was just cool, but, I felt a little shade. So she definitely, I think she has it in her. And, I look forward to seeing her on the court. She and Sotomayor are going to have some good parties.
So the question is, being young and gifted enough? Did you answer that question?
No, I did not directly answer that question.
Can I get your answer, please, ma'am?
It's enough when it's a simple majority that's needed. and the nominating party is in power.
Okay. Well, there you go.
So do we have a call to action, or is that just think positive thoughts?
And don't be hypocritical.
I like that. No stupid questions.
You can ask any question that you want, or don't ask no stupid ass questions.